Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Happy Wednesday as we start this trading day. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm great. Yourself?
There it is. I can hear you now, buddy. Say it again.
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. Excellent. All right, guys. Let's get to it. We had an interesting list yesterday. Yeah, a lot of stuff was pretty choppy. Was not one of the cleanest days, Norm. I don't know if you noticed that yesterday. It seemed to just be very choppy on some of the stuff we were watching.
It really was, especially around the open. We'll get into SPY news later in a little bit, but Fed is meeting yesterday and today, and sometimes you get a little bit of a pause, especially we've had some decent action the last couple of weeks. Uh, I think maybe that's part of it, and people
Mm-hmm.
waiting on news of a trade deal. So those two things are making things a little weird right now.
Yeah, you could definitely see the difference between yesterday morning and every other morning that we have been trading. It has not been as clean as it was a couple of days ago and last week. So let's take a look at what we had yesterday. Let's start with SFIX here. So FX had a lot of volume, good activity in the pre-market, but then the open was just completely wild. I mean, look at this opening range on the 5, right? So you got a pretty, not too extended, but pretty nice bar here, and then just gives it all right back. Could be setting up for a possibly, an engulfing crack here, but then just look at this wick high. It just bounces right back towards the VWAP. So again, just this entire open here was just a lot of chop. Even on the 1 minute, you could have taken a 1 minute opening range breakup, and that would have turned out pretty nice. But if you're waiting for a 5 minute, you can see how the rejection happened here on 28.80, 28.48, which we did have that level on there. Just a huge rejection right back down towards the VWAP. But every candle just seemed to just be very wild, and the spread was also not that great. The spread was pretty wide on this one as well. And then from there, it just continues to chop around, even all the way into 10 o'clock. You just no patterns forming here at all. Hits the VWAP. Eventually, later on after 11, right? So let's just look at the 5 minute. You can see how the chop in here, how nasty this trade. Also, the 5 minute not being clean. Eventually, this settled down, lost the VWAP, and it became a nice short play here all the way towards the low of the day. But again, if you got stopped out in this chop here, it was expected because just the way how choppy this thing was here. AUPH, actually, I didn't watch the price action on this one. I had it here on my list, but I did not have it as one of my 6 to watch. So I didn't see how the price action traded, but it looks like overall was very clean. Again, without just looking at hindsight, not looking how the actual action was. You can see here it pops towards the high of the day, consolidates, and it just becomes a beautiful long, just riding this 9 EMA nicely here. So that seemed to have ran up nicely here on AUPH. Netflix was another one I was watching very closely. I thought it was going to trade a lot better than this, but again, same thing as SFIX. It's just very choppy that first, hour or so, hour and a half, just extreme chop on Netflix. Eventually, it does settle down. Again, it looks like after 11, things start to trade a lot better. Here it settles down. You can see how it pops up towards the high of the day, rejects, comes back to VWAP, and becomes a beautiful short here. You can see some of this topping action happening here, and then just completely losing it once you get this play here at the VWAP. DBI was one that was also again just not trading well at all. Had a beautiful pop, very extended on the 5 minute, but then it just collapses. Here it looks like it was setting up to get going, especially after kind of testing the VWAP here and bouncing back, but then it just completely collapses here and becomes a short play. But again, just not really anything tradable here on the long side, just no continuation. The SPY was also dropping a bit at the open. So it could have caused some of this a ruckus here, but I think just overall things were choppy in general in the markets yesterday. Cons was another one as well. At the open seems very choppy as well. Again, everything after 11 or so settles down nicely. You can see how this was a beautiful short play as well. Apple was surprising. I did not expect this drop here. Just look at this nice drop. It actually became a beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5, but I was long biased on Apple. I wanted this thing to go up, test the high of the day. Eventually did a beautiful V reversal here. Look at this beautiful rejection. I mean, not rejection, support. Bouncing off of that, gets above the VWAP and just rises nicely all the way towards the high of the day, highs of the pre-market, and hit some targets up here. So that was nice on Apple. CGC was definitely the play of the day. This was the most one that probably the cleanest. At first, I mentioned in the chat room that it looked like it was just dropping with the SPY because it started dropping around here. but it just kept going. So the SPY started consolidating and bouncing back. This one just kept going, so it was not a SPY move. And you can see how beautiful this was here. A nice open range breakup, beautiful pullback. This is your entry between anywhere here and here for the crack of the candle in the low of the day, and this thing just went down nicely. And then from there, never really testing your entry. So you could wrote this down quite a bit and taking advantage of some good opportunities there on CGC. Then we have some other possibles, guys. CLVS continues to just rip and be very active. You can see a nice, beautiful pattern here, hitting the moving averages and taking off nicely all the way to this level we had, 1261 from our daily chart. So that traded very nice yesterday. FRAN. Didn't get as much volume as we expected it. It was a great short. I don't know. We were looking for this to kind of get going towards the top. But again, just didn't really get a great volume. And TCCO was the low flow of the day, which also just didn't. It gave you a fallen angel strategy here. You had to be patient, though. It did held this 555 nicely. You can see that here, the consolidation happening. Once it comes above the VWAP, this is a good indication we want to head higher. You get a nice, beautiful pullback. 2 chances to get in here on this 5 minute before it goes for the next leg up, cracking the high of the day and hitting some of these levels we had here, 750 and 825. All the way up to 1050. So this was nice. But again, you have to be patient and wait for this fallen angel strategy here and wait for confirmation that it was holding a level and the buyer stepping in to continue to push it up higher. So that was our day yesterday, guys. Again, a lot of chop, not the cleanest that we've seen before in the past. Let's get into the SPY, Norman, kind of some of the news that's happening.
Yep, Carlos. Sorry about that.
No worries, man.
As I mentioned, we've got the Fed meeting. They were their 2-day FOMC policy meeting ends today. They will come out with their rate decision at 2 p.m. and then followed by Jerome Powell's press conference at 2:30. They're not anticipated to change rates. It would be really shocking if they did, based on what they've been saying and everything that's been going on. But that having been said, there are people looking for info on repo markets that have been talked about recently the last couple of months, and also, what they see going forward and what they see for next year. So should be interesting. Not a whole lot of other economic data. We had CPI come out this morning. It was essentially exactly as expected. And other than that, we're just sitting around waiting for word to see what happens with the U.S.-China trade deal that has a deadline for new tariffs on Sunday. So,
all right. Yeah, so we'll see how this reacts. Again, the markets is kind of pretty much consolidating, going sideways right now. Not doing much based on the big picture, right? The big picture, this thing has been ripping since October, and even before that, you can see how it's just been ripping nicely here. So let's get over to our gappers list. Not a lot this morning. We have 3 on here. Let's start off with PCG, which has been, again, just surprisingly making newer highs. So now we're sitting at up 2.8 this morning on PCG. Volume is 294, which is great. And actually yesterday it found a way to get to this level here, 1232 that we had. So I'm just going to remove these levels right now. We can get it more clean as we go, because we do have the previous day close sitting right at this area of resistance we've been talking about, and we're slightly above that today, so that's nice. But again, PCG just continues to surprise us here, really climbing out of this hole that it's been in, from 3 to 5 to having some kind of consolidation at 10, and now here at 12. So pre-market activity not looking all that exciting, but we've seen this quite a bit from PCG, and it finds a way to put in a good day. So I did not see how it traded yesterday because we did not have this on our watch list. So I just want to take a minute here and go back and see how this traded. So actually, this is not a bad chart here. I mean, it took a while to get going, right? The open, as everything else that yesterday was pretty choppy, but you can see here how nicely this thing settled down after a while and then took off at 11. Again, at 11, if you look at a lot of the charts between 9:30 and 11, it's a lot of indecision happening here. Eventually, after 11, almost everything we had on our list started trading a lot better, including here PCG. Finding this 9 moving average nicely. So we always tell people, don't get caught up in trying to make a trade as in that first hour or two. There's usually a lot of opportunities later in the day. You just got to be patient, right? The volume's a little bit lighter. Things take longer to develop, but there are opportunities later in the day. So you don't have to have the fear of missing out to rush in a trade right at the open if there's nothing setting up that looks great. Also, one of the rules that we try to keep is, if you get stopped out 3 or 2 times in the same stock, you could be in chop, because we always get the question, how do I know I'm in a choppy stock? You don't, right? It usually sets up nicely. You see a possible play, you want to take advantage of it. You get your entry signal, everything looks good, and then then the thing drops again, right? Drops to VWAP, bounces back again, everything looks great. One more time, you get in it, you get stopped out again. 2 or 3 times, take a break, look back, look at the other watch lists you have, and just realize that you might be stuck in chop. It might not be you not getting a good signal, just pure chop. So be aware of that. We have RCKT here. This one, 102,000 shares traded right now. Let's get the daily going here. It is up it's down 4%. Daily chart seems like it has been ripping over the last couple of days. We have not seen this in our scanners besides today for the first time. So I'm not sure how this one is trading at the moment. It is a 30 million shares float, so it's not a low flow stock. But it's been ripping pretty nice, guys. This thing has been going from 15 all the way up to 28, and you can see some of these candles are a couple of points in there. So today pre-market activity is very wild, not clean at all, very choppy, but again the daily looks very nice. Let's go back and just see how it has been trading in the last couple of days. So it looks like here on this day on 12/9 you had a nice pop and then a beautiful drop all the way down here. Then yesterday kind of went sideways a bit here. Not much going on. So again, interesting. This is Rocket Pharmaceuticals. Norm, anything causing this drop today, or just regular technical stuff?
Yeah, they announced a secondary offering last night.
Secondary offering?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so this is probably not going to be tradable today. This is why it has probably a nasty pre-market activity. So I'm going to take this off my list, guys. Usually secondary offerings do not trade great at all. Let's look at PLCE, Children's Place. This one is down 11% this morning, 810,000 shares traded. Now, Children's Place, we have traded in the past before. It is not the easiest stock to trade. We do have some negative news. Looks like today, I'm sorry, this is down 15%. Excuse me. It's down $11, down 15% at the moment. Norm, what's causing this today?
Yeah, they had earnings this morning, and they missed their revenues, and they've cut their guidance. So this has been a little bit of this has been a troubled stock for a little while now.
Yeah, no, this thing has been really taking a huge hit in the last couple of months. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's got a 45% share short float in FinViz. It's got a 60% short float in TI. So just a heads up on that.
All right, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that and be aware of this. So right now we're down quite a bit, some great volume here. So we'll get some levels for this one as we get closer into our daily support and resistance. All right, let's go over to NASDAQ Active, NASDAQ Gainers, DFFN. If I remember correctly, this is a penny stock, doesn't trade very well, so we'll skip this. CORRV, also another penny stock, nothing happening here. Children's Place, we have LX. LX has volume, but a very nasty pre-market activity. Actually, this is not even the pre-market activity. It looks like just like one block trade here. Yep, there it is. There we go. So nothing going on there. SNNA, also another penny stock. We'll skip this one. NAKD, also not tradable. And ONTX, penny stock. GDS. GDS has volume. Looks like a big block trade. Yep, one nice block trade here causing some volume movement, but nothing going on in the pre-market. PTI. I saw PTI yesterday. I forgot who had mentioned it, but PTI, man, this thing has been really ripping here. What's the float on this? PTI, here we go. So it's a 50 million shares float. It is not a low float. And man, look at this daily chart. It has been pretty nice here. Now on all these days, it has not really gapped up. It's just kind of been running up nicely. So today we actually have a gap up that is being shown here, 14%. But overall, we have not really seen this in our top list scanner here, which is this here that we look at every morning. We look at the top 10. We really haven't seen this one pop up here. So PTI, we'll throw this one on there. This is up quite a bit today. 13%. And we can see a nice little daily chart here going. Pre-market activity is not looking all that great, but I expect this to get going. We got some great volume already at 489. We'll come back to that and see what's causing all the movement there. Next, we have GDS. We looked at SFET, the last one here in the NASDAQ Active. This one, again, and one that always comes up on our list because it gaps up all the time. But again, it's just one of these stocks that, like normal say, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I'm going to stay away from this one, guys. It does not trade very well. Look how nasty this daily chart is, and look how horrible this pre-market activity is right now as well. And go back and look at some of the intradays. We're not going to do it now for the sake of time, but look how the intraday trades. Go back in the 5-minute, 1-minute, and see how nasty this thing trades. Does not really give you any great opportunities for you to take a trade on. All right, next, let's go down here where we left off. SFED. Next one is Ali, OLLI. So Ali's got it's got no volumes. Nice pop here, 9.6. Daily chart is okay, decent, not all that great, but again, the volume is just not there. But I do like this pop, guys. Let's see Ali's. What is the float on Ali's here? 54, and looks like they had earnings yesterday.
I've got this on my list. They had earnings and they beat. So despite low volume at the moment, I'm going to keep it around for myself.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I really like this pop here, and the daily looks good too because you're at this area of resistance. Hopefully we looks like we popped our head out of that already. Hopefully we can break out, and we do have room to run here with some good positive catalysts. So yeah, gonna keep this on my list as well. Norman thinks it's a good idea. MYSZ, this one is horrible. Daily, look at this daily chart, right? There's no patterns forming at all. They got some activity happening today, some volume up 10%, but again, it's just not something we want to keep on our list. WRTC here, no activity, no volume. PLAB also no activity, no volume. Norm, what do you like this morning?
All right, you ready? Because a lot of times I say I don't have anything for you other than what we've looked at.
So
get ready to type some. How about HD, Home Depot? They came out with their 2020 guidance. It was weaker than the street expected. GME, GameStop. This stock has been on a straight road down for quite some time. They reported earnings last night. They were just terrible. And, I don't know how much longer this can be around. Peloton, PTON, Citron Research came out with a hit piece yesterday talking about how they are, despite some success with their bike, they have done no innovating and no new products, and competitors are mimicking them and catching up. AEO, American Eagle Outfitters, they reported earnings this morning. They had really weak guidance. They're down 7.3% on very heavy volume. Their ATR just is not big enough to hit our list.
Gotcha. Man, this is a very nice list, Norm. We appreciate your services here. Look at this.
Yeah.
So, we got a really nice list, and some of these are looking very good today, so we'll definitely keep an eye on these. All their daily chart looks great, too, right? All of them have a very nice daily chart for us to look at. All right, guys, besides what we have here already that we're going to get into more details, find daily levels of support and resistance, what do you guys like on your end that we can pull up here? So, children's plays, GME, we have AO, we have GMRE. Is that a different one? GMRE 107 Global Medical Group here looks like. So this one at the moment, not a great pre-market activity. Love to drop here down 8%. But again, the volume is just not all there yet. What's the float on this also? Let's just check here. GMRE.
This is a REIT, by the way.
Oh, it is. Yep. No, we'll skip this.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. So not really anything we want to really be trading. And not that they're not tradable, guys, but usually REITs, they don't move much. And they're very difficult to, try to find like an ABCD pattern or opening range breakup. That's not the type of plays that these stocks usually do. It's kind of like gold, right? Gold and these other natural gases has a lot to do with what's going on with the economy in that sector. So I usually do not watch those. Brian is great at trading those, right? He's great at doing some scalps, but he also does some homework on the back end to see what's going on in that sector as well. He's not just blindly going into those trades. So the same situation with this one here. Okay, we got GM. Or are you saying good morning? I'm going to just check GM just in case. GM just in case. But yeah, nothing happening with GM, so we'll skip that one. STAF. A penny stock, guys. So this one, we had this in our list before. It has some movement, but again, it's a penny stock. Not really anything that we want to be having, especially when we have a day like today. It looks like we have some really good stuff here, especially with the ones Norm just brought up here. That are some of these are not hitting our scanners just because the ATR is not big enough, but they will be in play today with some of the news they have on their end. Let's look at play. What's going on here? So play at the
Yeah, I
moment.
play on my list to
Hmm.
look at too. They
Yep.
reported earning. They had earnings last night. They just don't have volume at all.
Yeah. This could be a good possible to have, but the volume is very light at the moment. Possible breakout. We're sitting above these areas of resistance here. We do have some levels we can get to very clean on this daily. This daily is actually very nice. Look at the range on this daily. So could be interesting. Dave and Buster's. We'll put it here as a possible, guys. We can definitely do that. And but the volume is just very light this morning. Next we have a CHWY. CHWY. Let's go on here. CHWY. Chewy. Same thing. Volume is a little bit light, but I do like the dailies. It looks like it wants to break out of here. Definitely a long bias on it to possibly reach some of these levels we have on here. We have some room above this 2630, which is your high of the pre-market right now. We got way too many possibles. I don't want to add too many, but this is worth taking a closer look at. It's got 66,000 shares traded right now. Hopefully that can keep climbing and give us a good pre-market activity. Tesla. We haven't looked at Tesla in a while. Let's see what's going on with Tesla. Daily looks daily looks interesting. Somehow, some way, this Cybertruck is helping Tesla out. He had a great day yesterday. Looks like it might want to break out and test some of these recent highs here at 360. But again, I'm not sure about this one. I think we have some other good ones that look a lot better than this one today. This could be on the good possible list. Maybe wait till his our turbo breakup scanners or break down. And see what we get from that area. CLVS for possible continuation. CLVS continues to trade very well, guys. I mean, this is a very nice daily chart. Look at the pop here, rejection at 1732. We come right back down, kind of a reverse ABCD pattern here. Found the base. In the last 3 days, we have ended green. So I will not be surprised if we get above this 1261. And look at this level we had here, 1261 there. This was the level we took from the top of this resistance here after we had several days of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of a nice run up. You need to take a break, so it kind of stopped right there at 1261, and that's exactly what we hit yesterday as the high. So and if you look at CLVS after 11 traded very clean yesterday as well, so it could be good for continuation. Actually right here's 11 a.m. traded very nice little pop here. It could be ready for continuation, but again, the volume is just not all there right now. Pre-market activity is not great, but this is one that I can tune into at probably at 11 or so and kind of see what's happening there. So good possible on CLVS. It's been ripping pretty nice. Ollie's we have Ollie's. I think Ollie's daily chart looks amazing. Like the way that is setting up this morning. Let's take a look at UNFI, UNFI. UNFI. This one pre-market's not all that great. It's got some volume, 62. Not all that great right now. It's down 8.3. Daily's okay. It looks a little bit choppy, the daily. And what I mean by that, if you look at all the days, it's kind of like they get into this flat area, just kind of get stuck within the range, right? So I don't like the way that looks there in regards to the daily. So every single time it looks like it just goes from this little range, very tight range. So it also looks like it does not move much. So the ATR must be really small on this stock. So again, not sure about this one, guys. What do we have? LMPX. We'll do a few more, then we'll get over to announcements. LMPX. Yeah, it's not looking too clean here. This is a recent IPO. What is this? Yeah, recent IPO just a couple of days ago, guys. Opened up on the 5th, looks like. So not a lot of data here right now. Pre-market activity is very light with the volume, also with the actual patterns. Nothing really going on here for this one. Let's look at LK. LK, did we look at this one earlier? Yeah, we did. The volume is extremely light, guys. Only 28,000 on LK, so not really much to watch here at the moment. All right, good morning, Andrew. Saying good morning to our folks on YouTube. Andrew will be joining us for later on to finalize our list, do some if statements, and get ready for the open. Roku, let's see what Roku's doing. We haven't looked at Roku in some time. And when I say some time, I mean like 2 days. So Roku here is, yeah, it's pretty quiet right now. When I say quiet, it's not doing much as like we have some other ones on here. Children's Place, PCG, even PTI is making some noise. 561. Home Depot and GameStop. These guys are again got light volume right now, except for GameStop. GameStop got great volume. But again, their daily chart just looks amazing. So I'm not sure about Roku right now. Again, that's another one could be a good possible as well to watch later on. All right, we'll do one more CNST. Mario Lewis has given us CNST. See what's going on here. So volume starting to creep in. 150 up 4.2. I do not like this daily chart. It just seems very wild. Look at some of these wicks here. Is this right? We're going from 17 in this one day to 45. That's wild, man. That is wild. It's coming up in our gapper scanners now. The flow is 15.3, so it is on the lower side. You want to be cautious with this one, man. This is one you just want to be very careful with. Spread right now is 20 cents, so careful touching this in the pre-market. Look at this. Now it's more. Now it's like 50 cents. So again, just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. I don't like the way this one's trading. I don't like the daily chart. I don't see anything too exciting right now. The pre-market activities starting to get going. Might get better as we get more volume, but just be aware of this spread at the open if you do decide to trade this one. That is CNST. Yeah, Jaguar, I agree, that's very scary. And if I haven't watched this stock before. If the spread stays like this during the open, it's just really not worth your the risk to trade something with that type of spread. For our style of trading, we need something with very tight spread, a good liquidity, good volatility, good volume, and this one might not be it today. All right, guys, let's get over to announcements. Let me bring our list up, and then we can come back and find some levels on here. Here we go.
All right, guys. So sincere apologies. The email that went out yesterday had the wrong time for the Success webinar. It is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I know a number of people have asked if they're recorded. They are recorded. They'll be placed in the, Carlos, is it Education Center or the Media Center? One of the two.
Yeah,
you'll be able to find those.
Media Center right next to the Lifetime webinar recording. So right next to it will be the Success webinar recordings.
Yeah, so that'll be 8 p.m. tonight in the Lifetime classroom. And then we still got the new scanner contest going on. If you check out the forum link that Abiel puts up, you can go in there, post info on a scanner that you've created. The community will vote, and the best scanner will win either an iPad or an iPhone. You can take that up with Andrew to figure out what is needed for you. And hopefully it's good enough that we can add it to the scanners that we leave up in the room all day. Also, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube and you have trade ideas, we do share our scanner settings. And actually, Andrews, I just see, has posted the link to that. So take a look if you're interested. That's what we leave up in the room for members all day. So you don't necessarily have to have the TI subscription, but if you do, there you go. And then upcoming meetups. Andrew is going to be in London in 3 days on the 14th. The pictures of the venue look amazing. So go have a drink on Andrew. You don't have to be a member, but we do appreciate it if you RSVP in the forum. Somebody mentioned yesterday that they had to be a member to post in the forum. You can join the forum without being a member of BBT and post in there. So, and then 1 week chat room trial discount. If you're watching us on YouTube and you have not tried out the chat room, but you would like to give it a spin, you can do so for 1 week at a discount. Use the promo code premarket24, no spaces, no hyphens, premarket24, and does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you will be notified whenever we go live with new content. And Carlos and I sincerely appreciate the thumbs up.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get to it, guys. We got quite a bit of a list here. Let's start with PCG, and then when we're done here, if we do have some time, we're coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we can look at some other ones that you guys are putting out here. Like TCCO, we'll take a look at those as well. So PCG this morning, guys, daily chart has been ripping nicely here after it's found a bottom, consolidated here around 750. We saw this nice breakout. Look at the daily candle, how beautiful it has been after that. So right now we're slightly above a nice area of resistance, which is marked by your previous day close. Look how much times we tested this area here, at least 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on this consolidation here that we had. We're slightly above that at the moment, so this can be nice if we can squeeze and continue to head higher. We do have some room here. We have a nice moving average at 15. I don't think we'll get there, but the way this thing has been trading, it is possible, right? But that's a big move. We might have a little consolidation period around 14 before we get to that moving average. Also, we do have a nice gap here that we can close. So I'm going to mark this here at a 14.05. It could be a good target there from this the bottom of this gap that we might close today after leaving this area of strong resistance over the last couple of 2 months. September, look like August, September, and October has been stuck within that range around, what is this, 1236. So that would be good if we can see that there. We don't really have to add a lot of levels to PCG. Towards the bottom, guys, you can see plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. I don't think we want to add any more there. I think that looks very, very well put together there. Here, I'm going to mark down the moving average at 1524, just in case we get ripping here today. We get a nice surprise. That could be a possible target for us to get to on PCG. PCG, what's the flow interest? All right, so not a high flow interest, so there's not a lot of people stuck short here, but this thing is ripping for the last couple of days. Very nice here. PLCE, Children's Place, again, nice big drop here, down 16% with 942,000 shares traded. So let's mark our low of our pre-market sitting at 56.80. Just gonna go back and see when was the last time that we were hanging around these neck of the woods on Children's Place here. All right, here we go. So we're going back quite a bit. 2015, we haven't been here in a long time, so these levels are very, very old. But you'd be surprised, even with these levels that are so old. Look at that 56.89. You know, I just draw a line right through it, right? You can see the area of support happening here. You can see the resistance, the breakout. Again, even back then, this level has been being looked at now from way back. So let's get some levels here, the best possible ones that we can find. 53.34. You can see this consolidation happening here. This is nasty consolidation, but you can see how they clearly held 53.34. That could be an area we can get to. Obviously, all the way 46.76 is a level. I don't think we'll test that today. And we have 49.72 as well. So plenty of levels towards the bottom there. We have a big gap. So this is our price action right now, 59.20. And our highs and lows of the last two trading days are all the way up here around that 69.66 area. So in here, let's try to get some levels. I think this one here looks nice, 63.85. You got some area of resistance going back to 2015 August at time frame. So I think that's the best we can do on Children's Place. We have not been down here in a while. Obviously, be aware of the whole dollar numbers, and this thing has a high ATR, guys. This thing can move, so also be mindful of the shares you take. Next, we have PTI. So PTI the last couple of days has been trading really nice on this daily chart. Just look at the great ABCD patterns forming here, and bull flags and the breakouts are just been really, really nice. The pre-market activity is not as nice as the daily chart, but we do have some great volume that can possibly make this stock trade nice today. So high of the pre-market sitting at 476. Let's head back. Our price action is right at a level, so I'm going to mark it down because we're sitting right at a level on the daily chart at around 448. You can see that here on this nice little spike up, have some rejection at our 448. And then you have several days just kind of hanging around that area as well, 449, 448. So I'm going to mark that also on PTI. Let's see what we have above 426. If anything, just want to go back. All right, so going back into that November, December time frame of last year, we do have this nice pop here at 574, and then another one up here at 726. I think that's plenty for PTI. And the reason why we're picking 726, guys, is because you can see the drop to 574 comes right back up to this 728, cannot get above that, then drops right back down to this 574. So in here, there's really not a significant level of or change in direction or a pivot point, right? There's nothing in here. So you want to find something that's very obvious. Obviously, this is obvious here, and this is obvious, right? The more obvious the levels are, the better your chances are that everybody else is looking at the exact same thing. If nobody's looking at these levels, then they don't mean anything, right? But the fact is that they're very obvious. People are looking at them. Other traders like me and yourself are going to be looking out for these levels to take profit, calculate their risk to reward, and such things like that. So PTI looks good, guys. Good volume. Pre-market activity, though, is not exciting. This is not looking great. Hopefully that can continue to get better as the volume pours in. So Ali's no volume on Ali today, but the daily does look interesting. So we definitely want to have this even on our secondary list if possible. Let's get some levels on here. The low of the pre-market is basically sitting at the resistance level here, 65.70. You can see right on there, 65.70 is the big resistance. I know the pre-market low is actually at 65.75, so a couple of cents lower, but I think the 65.70 is going to be more important than the actual pre-market low. All right, above this, we do have this spike over here at 67.91, so we'll put that on there. And then we have this beautiful gap. Next level on here is 75. Obviously, that's a long way there, so just be aware of the whole dollar number, 70, 72, 74. These are going to be areas where you can see some change in direction, some consolidation happening. Be aware of that on the way up here. If we decide to go down 64, you can clearly see how that is an area of support and resistance. Looking at the daily chart, look at this beautiful run up. Got a rejection here at 64.93, 97. Again, just a tough level to get through. Test it one more time. Cannot get above this, drops down, comes right back up to that same level again, 63.97. It's tested it, finally breaks out of it, goes to the next level, 65.70. And we talk about this a lot. After we break over a resistance, we usually come back and retest that now becomes support. We clearly just did that here, then come right back up to breaking out of 65.70 all the way up to this 68 level. So again, very clean level there, 63.97. You definitely want to have that on your list, and I think that's going to be enough for Ali today. We just need more volume on it right now. So again, daily chart looks amazing. We just need to get more volume going here. Home Depot, guys. Home Depot is getting some volume. Now it's above 100K. Now it's in our scanners here, trade ideas. So this is great. Low of the pre-market at the moment sitting at 211.19. I'm not sure how long we're going to hold that for. It looks like this thing wants to be very weak today. Also, we're sitting right at a moving average as well, the 200. So that's nice. It's going to be exciting to see if we can hold that there, bounce back. If we lose that, usually when a stock loses the 200 on the daily, you're going to have a lot of volume and activity happening around that area. Next level down that's very clean is a 204.64. You can see here how the resistance happening here. You got the support coming right down before the takeoff again. Also several days here in this nasty area. And if you remember this is when the SPY was just very, very choppy. I mean, look how nice Home Depot was trading before August on the SPY. It's just kind of crushed a lot of stocks and it's just kind of choppy all over the place. That is what was happening there. This definitely disrupt the nice flow it had going here. So you got some levels on there as well for Home Depot. Now, for me personally, 204 is way too far. That's a big drop. I don't think we'll get there nice in one swing, nice swing move. So I'm going to find a level within this range that looks clean, that can possibly be an area has several touch points on the daily. So what I'm seeing here is 208.48. If you look at that level, you can see several days opening and closing around that level, testing that, right? So I want to have that on there because I think 204 is just way too extended. I don't think we'll get there in one shot. We need something in between there that looks as a possible good area of support. All right, GME has got some great volume down. Nice today, 19%. Low of our pre-market. Looks like it's about to be cracked, 525. We'll mark that down there for now. The reason why you want to mark it down is because even if this does lose this 525 has been an area of support and resistance, so that you want to have that on. That 525 is going to be a good important number to have. Next, on the bottom, we do have another here at 5. Obviously, a whole dollar number, especially on a stock that's trading this low, is going to be important. And then all the way down here, you do have this is actually a better level here, 437. So we'll see how GameStop trades towards the downside here, looking very weak right now in the pre-market with some very significant volume. Towards the top, our high of our pre-market is actually a great level, 579, 581. You can see the resistance here, the support. Again, resistance, support. You have several touch points here on the daily chart on this 579. So you want to throw that on there. Above that 579, you have highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Do not need to add any more. PTON right now doesn't have great volume, but it looks good on the daily. So we're going to keep this as a secondary here. AU, also one that has amazing volume. Actually, this one we're going to move up into our main list. And then Andrew's going to come on shortly and go over his watch list and fine-tune this a little bit more. We're just going to do some levels for AEO here. So AEO, we have a level right on here at 1365. Very close to the low of the pre-market this morning. And above that, we have one right here at a 1453, guys. So you can see the change in direction here. I love these levels here when they change direction like that. That is a strong level. Look how many times this thing has been tested. 1473 is something you want to have on your list for AEO. So, all right, Play is a secondary, guys. No volume right now, so we'll keep this on our secondary list. We need some volume out of this one. And then Chewy, also one that has not broken out yet, needs more volume. So again, we got a lot on this list. Andrew's going to come on now, and he's going to fine-tune this list a little bit better as we get going here this morning. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So welcome, Weister. I'm one of the traders here. That's one of the many traders that trade at the open. So I usually trade in the open. So Weister is a new member. He's asking who's Andrew. So usually we have moderators in different time. I'm a momentum scalper, and I usually take the best time for trading. So guys, I'm back. And it's great to be back home for 2 nights because I'm flying to London on Thursday. So I'm going to meet you all on Thursday. I'm going to share the screen quickly because I want to mention. So keep this one going, please, Carlos, for for YouTube people, and because I want to show the success webinar. I don't know if you guys if you guys can see that in YouTube, but we recently launched a series of workshop seminars for lifetime members, and we would like to invite all the lifetime members to these workshops. And you see the poster that we designed for that. And this poster is actually right at I don't know if you guys can see my camera too. You can see it's on my wall. As soon as I saw that, I purchased that because I love that picture. And it really means a lot. At least to me, it means a lot. That's why we decided to use that as a background. And the first one was how to plan your education last week. For that, we had over 100 people showing up. And the recording is also on the website. But the next one is Peter. Peter is having it actually today. And the title of the webinar is share size, how to plan your share size, because that's a very, very important element of consistency. And Peter has a tool that he's going to actually have a good job on preparing it. And Peter is traveling right now in Asia, and he's just trying to find the internet to do this workshop. So it means a lot for him if you guys can attend, because although he's traveling in Asia, he's I think in Thailand or around that area, so it really means a lot for him. You guys can come. And it's funny, Peter went to Asia to bring his son back. His son is living in Asia, so his wife sent him to Asia to find his son, convince him to come back for Christmas, because who wants to be in Christmas in Ottawa when you can be in Thailand? So he's on a mission to saving Private Donnelly. I don't know if I should have said that or no, but anyways, he's in Asia right now. Or maybe that's just an excuse for Peter to go to spend some time in Asia. Maybe he's looking for his son. I don't know which one is. It's either really he's looking for his son or he wants to just have fun there. But he's going to do this for us, and it means a lot for you guys if you can attend. And if you cannot attend, the recording will be available for all lifetime members. The time on the email that we sent yesterday was wrong, unfortunately. The workshop is at 8 p.m. on the Eastern time. It is not during the day. So it is in the afternoon, in the evening, 8 p.m. on the Eastern time, or 5 p.m. on the Pacific time, and of course, everything in between. Suck operator wants to go. Yeah, I want to go look for my son also in Thailand. Find him and bring him back home. He's in Cambodia right now. All right, so that's the success workshop. And next week, Ayman and I would be. So the next week would be how to trade the open, how to trade the first 5 minutes. So Ayman and I are going through all of the examples of our trades, and we have some replays to show it to you. So it's going to be a really good workshop next week for me. And this one is part of those lifetime seminars that we had. So we just relaunched it and they rebranded, and Carlos leading on that. So if you guys are a lifetime member, you're welcome to come. If you're not, you're welcome to upgrade and sign up. And if it's too much for you, pay $2,000, which I think it's a big money. And if you don't want to make that investment, you can always switch to a monthly plan, $149, and pay that for 1 year. And then after that, you're a lifetime member. The only thing about $149 issue is, guys, is if you can cancel anytime, but if you can cancel and then you come back, you cannot credit those months back. It's just our system is just not that complicated, and it doesn't make sense really to do that. So if you want, you have to stay for 1 year. But if you really didn't like it and you want to cancel, you can cancel and really. All right, so that's it. So yeah, let's go quickly. Go to watch this. I was watching what Carlos and Norma are saying, and pretty much we usually look at the same stocks. I really like PCG right now. So as you see, PCG has been really in a good run for a couple of days. It's really nicely consolidating above the VWAP. And on a daily chart, we have this 1280 and 1276. 1276 is a level back. If you want to find these levels, it's just a magic level here. And as you see, 1276, something around here, this high. If I bring it a little bit higher, you can actually drag and bring it here. Around 1270, 1280 is the back. And then we have this gap. So the next level that we have, that is there's a big gap here. That it's at 14, so who knows, maybe it goes all the way to that gap as well. And if you want to look at it back here, there's really no clear level around here, but it seems that 14 is a level, and we can look at it for a potential opening range breakup. Only if it says it's strong. If it loses at the open, so they might be actually short, who knows? But it could be a potential pop from 1260, 1270, all the way up to 1230. And so that's one thing that I want to look at. That CNST is also something interesting. The only problem with CNST was yesterday after hours it went up, and it bounced back, and now it's just a little bit tricky to trade because of all of these moving averages, but it could be a potential opening range breakup. So this was a very weird move, popped up, and then the pre-market also sold up. No, actually, this one is at the open. Went up and then sold, and now it's really at around $37. So I'm going to watch that. It looks very interesting to me. So Carlos, do you want it back, or I can just keep going through the list? Oh, perfect. Was I sharing my screen at all? Yeah, I think I was sharing my screen. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have anything else to go for it, and then I'll take it over after that.
Okay,
If you're
yep.
finished. If you're not finished, if you're finished already, I can just go.
No, we can go through some stuff here. Finalize it a little bit.
Okay, so I'll hand it over to Carlos then.
All right, guys. So let's where we left off here, and let's look at the possibles, right? So just kind of recap a little bit. PCG, guys, looks great. Andrew just talked about this. A gap we have here, 1405. So that's going to be nice if we can squeeze up here. Again, pre-market is not all that great right now, but the volume is there, and we've seen how great PCG has been trading. So looking forward to that. PCL at the moment, PCLE Children's Place. Again, the volume is amazing, guys. 1.0 million shares traded so far. We are down 15.8 at the moment. I think this one's going to have a lot of movement in it today. Again, just be aware of the actual price range is quite high here, so you want to be cautious with that, right? What's the ATR actually on? Let's take a look at that. So PLCE, what is our ATR today? $2.64. So a bit on the higher side. Just want to be aware of that. Definitely manage your risk properly and your number of share size. So PTI we looked at, guys. This one right now 672. Pre-market is not looking all that great, and usually stocks that trade on the lower price range are not all that great. They tend to trade a little choppy, but the daily is great. The daily has been trading really nice, and we looked at some of these days. The intraday actually looks good, so we'll see if we can continue doing some of that today. Again, we have it here. We have some levels, 476 high of our pre-market. If we can break out of that, would be nice. Right now, it's just kind of sideways. We're pretty choppy at the moment, so hopefully that can get better at the open. It might be one that we have to wait 30-15 minutes before it actually settles down and gives us an opportunity, so just be aware of that as well. All right, Ali's we looked at, guys. Again, there's not a lot of volume on this one, but the daily looks amazing. If we can break out here, I know Norm will be watching this one. I saw they have some good news on yesterday, so this can be nice on their I believe they had earnings. So again, if this thing can get going, you can see some good activity out of that today. But again, the volume is just very light. This morning we looked at AEO, also a nice drop here of 8%. Great volume at the moment. Seems to be holding this 1365, which is a low of our pre-market. We have a 1453 as a possible level here as well. So we'll see if we can hold here and head higher, or if it's going to be a rising devil. This can be setting up nicely on the drop, and if it sells up and starts selling back down, it could be a good one for a rising devil opportunity. All right, Home Depot we looked at. We got some good levels on there. Actually, Home Depot is one that I'm going to add to our main list. I'm just going to fine tune this list a little more, guys, because we do have a lot here. GameStop also looks good. I'm going to bring GameStop up to our main list here. We'll get rid of some other ones that are not looking all that great. Let's get this down to 6. Peloton is a good possible. I'm not going to keep it on here right now because the volume is just too light, so I'm going to get rid of this one on GameStop. Play and Chewy are also two other ones that are going to be great to look at later around 11 o'clock, 10:30 to see what they're doing, and also check them out if they hit our scanners. Turbo breakup, turbo breakdown, there could be some good opportunities there. So let me get the SPY out of here so nobody's confused with that. We don't need the SPY here. We have PCG, PLCE, PTIs, Ollie's, again light volume but good possibilities. AEO, this one here looks also good. Home Depot, I think Home Depot is going to be nice today. He's sitting on that 200, actually losing that 200, losing the pre-market low as well, 21.11 that we have there, so that's nice also. And then GameStop here, and actually GameStop was sitting right at a level. I'm going to mark this down, guys. $5 with 37. This was a good one here. You can see where you have some support on the daily. I mean, the price action was just sitting on that. We just lost it, but that's a good one to have just in case we get a bounce of $5 or we go back up and retest this 537. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have one too many, but I think all these look very, very good for today. All right, let's see what everybody else is watching. Oh, Thor hasn't posted his yet. Norm hasn't either, so we'll wait for these guys to post their list and see what they're watching on their end as we get here. So Andrew, you're watching PCG, Children's Place, PTI. Oh no, that's my list. I'm like, wait a minute, that's my list. Let me see if I can see. Oh, you have.
Yeah. So I really like OLLY.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of volume. The daily chart is really nice. I don't know why it didn't really have any volume. What's the float on that OLLY? It's 58 million float, so it's actually
Yep.
really, really good. I'm very surprised that there's no volume on that, but I really like the daily chart.
Yep.
So I definitely look at the OLLY and it looks at it.
Yeah.
Roku is kind of stuck in that level. So I'm actually sharing my screen for those of you who are. I can share the screen. No, OLLI, sorry, OLLI. So I can just put it in there.
Yep.
So I really like the daily chart and float. Everything is really good, but it doesn't have any. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any volume, and it's surprisingly when the stock is gapping up 10%, only 40,000 shares volume. If it gets the decent order flow, then that definitely is really nice for a pop above 67.74 because that looks like a really nice level on a daily chart, obviously. And then if you want to go, I have shares for short, so it looks like a decent, really stocking play for me. But I don't know why.
Yeah, daily looks good, and they also had earnings yesterday, post market. So again, they had some good earnings, good news. If we can get some good movements here, I think this will be nice to look at.
Roku is really stuck in a range between 150 to 145. So, and usually when the stock is really stuck in that range, become really choppy. So what you want to trade is you want to trade above the breakouts in a daily chart. So this daily, you usually get really chopped up. So that's also very important for traders to understand that. Sometimes the stock that you were trading and they were really nice and they had no problem trading, when you're stuck in this range, sometimes it gets really choppy. But if you break out above 155 or below the 140, then volatility comes in. And that's exactly what you see here, that you see the volume is really low compared to the days that are gapping up or gapping down. So Roku, it's a big question mark for me. It could be a really good trade, but I just don't know. I mean, GME is really nice. It's a little bit lower price, and the lower price are a little bit more challenging, but the float is good. The float is really good. The daily chart, as you mentioned, is really nice. I mean, for potential crack below $5 is really good. If it opens weak, and the next really serious level that we have is around below 5. So I really like to have that for a potential short. Interactive Broker has tons of shares to short. PLCE, I think it's a good one. Let's see how it does. It is coming above the VWAP right now.
Yep.
Home Depot is definitely very interesting for me. It's right now sitting at 200 moving average. So let's see how it trades. Then there are a couple of levels down here that I found at 209. So I want to watch Home Depot for sure. See what it does. So I think that would be pretty much my watch list. So CNST would be good. PCG, Home Depot, PLCE. PLCE is really good. Too bad that we don't have shares for short. But if there is any opening range breakup, can possibly be opening range breakup. GME is decent right now. It's really holding this 527 level. Sorry, that 527 level. And so I put my watch here on the CNST, PCG, Home Depot, PLCE, GME, and OLLI. So I'm just putting my stock on watch. No, 15 million is to which one is 15 million? CNST is a 15 million. Yeah, so no, 15 million is considered the low float, guys. So anything less than 20 million shares is considered low float. So be careful on your share size for sure on CNST. And just look at the daily chart. The stock and the day can move from 31 all the way up to 60. So you have to be very, very careful on your minds. On your share size. So that's definitely a good point. Mind the size on CNST, that's for sure. It's a low float stock.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild lately. The average to range on that is $5.11 on a stock that's trading at $36. That's very high, guys. Very, very high.
Yeah. So be really careful of this volatility. This is the type of trades that can blow up your accounts, and people have done it all the time. So you got to be very, very careful. And PLCE as well. I think PLCE is also is a low float stock. So actually I put it a little bit higher. So this PLCE is also a low float stock because, again, right now in the pre-market doesn't have a big range. It's just 58 to all the way to 59. But let me see it. yeah, it is. It can have a big moves during the day, so you got to be very, very careful on that. So it's right now losing it. AEO, it didn't hit my AEO didn't hit my watch list at all. But this one is down. Oh, the AEO is nice. How come American Eagles? How can this one didn't hit this guy? Probably because of the average to range. Oh, look at the daily chart. Love the daily chart. So this obvious level 14 was an obvious level that we're fighting right now. And if it cracks it, so it came above the VWAP. So let's see what it does. It could be opening range breakup because it looked like it bounced back, but the low of the pre-market is 380 as well. That obviously hold this level. And on a daily chart, if you can go back in time a little bit, see what we can find. Back down here. So there are a couple of levels here, and then we have one big one here. Yeah, I think we have enough good levels to the downside. To the upside, obviously 1457 is a good level. This one obviously is a good level, 1431. And look at that, 1410 looks like a decent pre-market level. So you see this level around 1410 is a decent level. So let's see how it trades at the open. It can go either way. Right now it's just bouncing back above the VWAP. But let's see how it does. And I do have shares for short. So yeah, American Eagle is also nice. So I also watch AEO, American Eagle. I don't think I have shares for short on PLCE. No. For that, usually for these stocks, you have to look for brokers who have the short locate option, like Centerpoint or SpeedTrader or some brokers that they give you, and it's costly. Sometimes you have to pay, half a cent per share to find these short locates, which is come into the cost of your business. I usually don't use the short locate. I don't think even Ivy has the short locate, so that's what I do. Alliance has short locates now. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So Alliance Trader also has short locates, so you can find them, and you have to pay them. So they charge you per share to give you the shares for short. So you have to be really good short seller. And we are not that kind of community. Some communities, the only thing that they do is just pretty much use the short locate and short whatever they could. But we are just trading more normal stuff. Yeah, CME Group has it too as well. All right, so a few minutes to the open. I think one challenge that we have is Brian's. I think his wife's father passed away, so I think he's traveling for that family loss. So I think he might be unavailable in the next couple of days. They're back from east side of Canada, so he's traveling on the east side. Unfortunately, Debbie's father has passed away, so. That's one thing. Peter is in Asia. Nobody really knows why. There are some rumors going around. And I'll be trading also tomorrow. But Friday, I'll be in London. And Saturday, we have the meetup. Yeah, London. We're going to have Helen is coming. She canceled a wedding. She declined a wedding invitation to come to our meetup. Why? How do you keep my energy level with all this jet lag? I don't know actually. I'm very jet lagged, and I have a news for you guys as well. My wife is filing for divorce for desertation grounds. So because I'm not home at all. No, I'm just kidding. But she's coming to London with me. I have to. Okay. Yeah, so she's coming to London. Don't hit on my wife. Pitman, be careful. All right, guys. So just jokes aside, 30 seconds open to the open. And is the squawk working? Because I know there were some issues on the squawk at the open. Did it fix? Nice. Yeah, there were some issues with the squawk, unfortunately, in the morning. So, oh shit, I haven't put the list on my different charts. So I'm just quickly putting everything in my different chart because now the market is opening in 10 seconds. I have to watch them on my different charts. I have that one as well over there. Home Depot. Home Depot opened it. PLCE opened a little bit strong. American Eagle. See what American Eagle is doing. I like to watch American Eagle. And GME. PLCE. GME popped up. American Eagle is doing nothing. American Eagle could be a good short. Let's see, American Eagle could be a rising devil. It did pop up above the VWAP, but it's losing it. So it possibly could be a good short rising devil. Let's see what it holds at this 3090 level. The bids are coming lower and lower. I'm looking at possible short on American Eagle for a 1 minute opening range breakdown, but let's see. GME opened a strong. So GME can actually be a long right now. Opening range break up. American Eagle can be a long now because that opened really strong. Both GME and American Eagle can be a potential long. So I'm going long AEO at 1398. I'm long, sold. Done. I'm out of this place forever. Done. That was a nice pop on AEO. Wow, that was a nice one. Yes. 1 minute opening range break up. Oh shit, sorry. I'm done, guys. 1 minute opening range break up on a American Eagle. That's it. From 1395 to 1420. So done. So that was it. That was pretty quick. I'm not gonna touch anything at all. Done. That was a really good one. Done. That's it. That was a really nice opening range break up, just perfect. I think it stays strong. I think it's even it go to 1431. That's it. But I'm not gonna trade it anything. So that was it. So 1 minute opening range break up. So I was watching it. So it's just a strat. Amen. This is a really good example. Please make sure to. This is still strong. This is go habe. But I just made my money on that. So as you see, 1431 easily can be a good trade. So it's going in there. GME, did I tell you GME is also 1 minute opening range breakup? This is it, guys. I was actually thinking between GME and AEO. It happened to be AEO in my thing. This one is also a really nice opening range breakup. Yes, stock has gapped down. Amen. This is also a very good example. But the stock gapped down, but the punch through all of these moving averages. This is a really good also opening range breakup. PLCE possible short now. It looks like it wants to go. Who mentioned AEO? I really love that. Thor, thank you so much for that. Oh, yeah, shit. No, you have no shorts for that. Yeah. PLCE, yeah, there's no short for that. So that's not an issue. CNSTE. Oh. I don't want to be in CNSTE. Oh, look at that spread. Oh, I don't want to touch CNSTE. Look at the spread is 40 cents. Okay, I don't want to do anything with CNSTE. I just delete it from my chart. PCG, what did PSA? Yeah, beautiful long right now. Oh, beautiful. Look at that ask. So PCG can be a long opening range breakup. Any entry around 1270 is good. Look at huge ask popped up. Yeah, it's a long over 13 now. There you go. Beautiful. Shit, I should have swatched that. Yeah, over 13 is gonna pop up above 13 as well. I'm not gonna long right now, but yeah, it's that was a really nice one. Roku is a short now. Roku is a red to green to red. I think possibly Roku is going to red to green to red. So Roku dropped really bad. This drop, so any entry around 148, 147, it could be a potential test of previous day close. But again, it's a little bit choppy. That's not my favorite stock really to trade right now. Thor is long at 14. Yeah, so as you see, there's a huge bid at 155. So an EDGX, it's probably going to previous day close at 147.09. Yeah, probably going to go down. So TLC again goes to crack. Too bad that we don't have shares for short. CNSTE is a mess. Don't touch CNSTE, guys, at all. It looks like a mess. SPY popped up. Oh, there you go. So see Rocco. See, did anyone take Rocco? That was a really nice drop. That was a really nice. Hey man, take also a screenshot from this one if you guys can hear me. So that drop, it's sign of all of the people who were long for opening range break up. They got stopped out, and now this was a really good entry from 147.80 all the way to 146.80. If Ayman is hearing me, you please take a screenshot on that for the next week's seminar. That's a really good one. We're gonna watch the replay all together. Did anyone took Rocco short? If I was not done with my dam, I most likely would have taken it to the short. That also turned out to be a really nice opening range breakdown. I have no idea how many shares I took AEO. I think I took 100,000 worth of buying power. But my hotkeys is based on buying power. Let me see. I can see that. I think about 10,000 shares maybe. OLLY, yeah. So Rocco was a really nice crack.